us that. And here it says $100 trillion Zimbabwe. And this is the largest bill in existence. Now, in other countries, it's not been as bad, but it's still devastating. And this is where we're moving. So they're going to rob us that way. But is this not, Gerald, like a bank holiday? Because for a month, they just say, Gerald, we don't know where your money is, but we'll figure it out. And we may give you some of your money back, or maybe none. And farmers are losing 100,000, 30,000. They're in the news. It's not just gold futures. It's corn. It's everything. And now they just going to, you know what, we're just going to issue them statements saying it's corrected. But not only are they going to keep all your money you put in when you made the bet right with your money, your purchase, now they're going to send you another bill saying pay for it again. So in closing, what's this going to do to the markets? What are we going to look like in 6 months? What does this signify, and what do you think about the $100 trillion situation? Because when is that real bank holiday going to come? When they close the banks for a week or maybe a month, and then they tell you, oh, by the way, the dollar's been cut in half again. We're not just going to slowly devalue it. And that's the way it is, suckers.
Well, again, they're not only telling me that I have to buy it again, they just upped the price.
Wow.
They upped the price. We're talking for 100 ounces over $30,000. You know, and I work hard for my money. I'm no silver, spoon guy.
So it's triple. They took the first money, then they sent you a bill for it at a higher price than the contract you signed.
Yeah, so where's it going? Your money, as far as I'm concerned, isn't safe with anybody. I don't care who the name is. And look at the history. You know, the Goldman Sachs gang, the Merrill Lynch mob, the Lehman boys. How many more times do you have to see yourself getting screwed before you know you're getting screwed?
Final point.
And again, I played it safe, and I got shafted.
Yeah, you were getting physical delivery.
Yes, I believe that the crash is going to come sometime early in 2012, after they sucker everybody into spending the money that they don't have on the Christmas holidays. I believe it with all my heart because I believed it was going to happen under Obama in 2009. And then I was doing research and I saw Corzine, Joe Biden talking to Corzine, telling them that they were thinking of a bank holiday in 2009. It's there for everybody to watch. Go to YouTube. Biden, Corzine, it's there. And I believe that with Europe unraveling the way it is, with the problems that China is going to be facing, with the intractable problems we have in the United States, they're not going to be able to solve these problems, and they're not going to be able to cover it up anymore. The MF Global is a harbinger, and everybody should understand it. This is not an isolated incident. How many more do you have to back up to see it happen? Remember Washington Mutual. How about Wachovia? Remember IndyMac. You go around the world, Anglo-Irish, Dexia, one after another.
And let's go back briefly.
Come and go.
Let's go back briefly because I know you got to go here. Gerald, 2 weeks ago you said that when they first took the money out of your account that was in there for months, paid for, delivery, you bought it at $1,400, went up to $1,700, you did great, made a good decision, it's paid for. They take it, and without even telling you your money's gone, they call up and go, there's no money now in your position. You know, they're claiming you basically got to buy this. And I think that's the next shoe. They're not only saying, okay, we got it for your delivery, they're now probably going to sue you and say, yeah, we took your money. Now you got to buy it, not just for what your contract said, but for even more.
No, they won't be able to do that. What they do is they just close your positions out, as they did with my other ones, because I wouldn't come up with another margin call. So they emptied out my account, said I had no money in it, and then closed out my other positions. And I had enough money left to cover this one, just the margin. So no, they just close you out.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And they're going to start new wars as a diversion. They're going to try anything.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I want to play this clip.
Look at that Bloomberg rolled out the other one. You know, the guy, he had pebbles and rocks and wire, and he was going to blow up the Empire State Building, you know. I mean, come on. They're going to come up with anything.
Mark my words, ladies and gentlemen. These criminals have learned over the centuries how to steal money by hyperinflation. They've learned how to have bank holidays, and they've also learned how to have a process. As long as it's a robo-signer, they can take your house that's paid for, even though they never even had the deed. as long as they claim it's some process screwed up. And now, after a month of not knowing where the now $3 billion is, they're saying, hey, it's a corrected statement. Okay? Doesn't matter you have contracts. Doesn't matter we took your money. That's it. We corrected it. It's like walking up and blowing somebody's brains out for no reason and saying, I corrected you. Again, it's this mind game they're playing. And we've got this Terrence Duffy, the head of the Chicago Mercantile, now the CMT, and his group's been criticizing Salente and others. How dare you conspiracy theorists not like what's happening? I mean, they'll use they'll walk up and punch you right in the nose, break your nose, and go, if you don't like that, you're a conspiracy theorist. If you don't like being drugged behind a truck, you're a conspiracy theorist. It's now reached Alice in Wonderland proportions. And here's the clip that Gerald sent us last week that we put in an INFOWARS article that got a lot of attention. Here he is, and we'll get Gerald's comment on this in closing. Just tell everybody, don't worry, it's all 100% backed, except if we have changed your statement, and then everything's okay. Here's that clip.
Last year, we traded 2.6 billion contracts, representing an underlying value of more than $800 trillion. And since we are the guarantor of every transaction that happens in our markets, we have to guarantee the performance of each and every one of these contracts, which means facilitating the transfer of $800 trillion of risk. To do this, we hold more than $100 billion of collateral to support the transactions that are being done in our markets.
Absolutely incredible. Gerald, in closing, 2 minutes, break down what we just saw there. I mean, you look at that video, they look like something out of a Goodfellas TV show or something. I mean, they just drip with arrogance, with sliminess. I mean, it is incredible. And my God, if they're getting away with this now, what's next, Gerald?
Again, you know, I don't speak the King's English, but I could understand that, you know. What am I missing here? We're the guarantors. We guarantee all the transactions. We have $100 billion in collateral to make sure everything goes well. Where's the money? Where's the dough? How come you stole my money, Duffy? Where's the money you said you were going to guarantee? I traded with you in good faith. That's over a year ago they played that clip. We said that. How come nobody's holding their feet to the fire? You know why? It's the same kind of crap with that pig, Pike, who was walking, spraying little kids sitting down with pepper spray. What, do you need a jury to find out if the guy is pepper spraying innocent people? Oh, no. I'm the chancellor. We're going to have a hearing on this in 90 days. We're going to look into it. That's the same kind of crap with this Duffy. Where the hell is the money? You said you guarantee it. What the hell is the big story here? How come the prostitutes aren't calling him out? I'll tell you why. Because they're paid off, or they're little wimps. That's why. And this whole country this is a metaphor for everything that's going on. Just like those kids sitting down there getting sprayed and not moving, it's the same thing, everybody there. Your money in the bank, they're going to rob it from you. Like they've done before, they're doing it now, and they're going to do it again.
It is incredible. And finally, what the Chicago Sun-Times did to a little blurb admitting that they said it was guaranteed, they're going to destroy themselves and everybody else along with them. And you're right, a nation of sheep will be ruled by wolves. Gerald Salente, of course, trendsresearch.com. I know you put out a special trend alert today, breaking all this down. How can people find out more? Trendsjournal.com,
trendsjournal.com. And remember, everyone out there, you know you're having a difficult time. If your finances are tight, just let us know. There's a discount request form. We want to prepare you for what's going to happen ahead. Because if you listen to the prostitutes to lead you, boy, you better be ready for what's coming up in the new year. Because I've been in this business 30 years, Alex, and I've never been more worried than I am now.
Yeah, you've been investing in those futures for, you said, since the 70s, and now the
78. My first buy of gold was $187.50 an ounce.
Unbelievable. They're definitely getting reckless, and their chutzpah is going to run out.
I want to mention this quickly, Alex, if we have time. This is not a gold bubble in my belief. As I mentioned, I've been buying gold since then. I went through the bubble of the 1980s. This is a very different time. Back then, there was no China. There was no Russia in the markets. There was the Soviet Union, and the Chinese still had rickshaws. There was no globalization. There wasn't a meltdown all over Europe. There wasn't the euro. It's a whole different time. Everybody I know in Greece, in Italy, all the people that I know, they're all getting their money out of the bank, and a lot of them are buying gold. This isn't the bubble that they want you to believe it is, because they want you to buy into their cheap money, their paper money that isn't worth the
so they can steal it and devalue it and screw you 700 ways.
You got it.
Well, Gerald, at least we're here as a testament to who the real criminals are. And it's incredible you've been predicting they'd steal accounts, but not your brokerage where you're trying to, you've already paid for it, and then they sent you a corrected statement. My God, it's unbelievable. Gerald Celente, thank you so much. We'll continue to check in with you. Thanks for spending time with us.
Hey, thank you.
Wow, folks. I mean, it is so incredible to see this, continue to unfold. Just absolutely makes my head spin. Well, that's it for InfoWars Nightly News. Lord willing, we'll be back here tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Central. I want to thank all the PrisonPlanet.tv subscribers. You pay the way for the millions of people that watch this on YouTube and Blip TV and all the other BitTorrents and systems that are out there. They're moving towards internet censorship right now and internet kill switches and talking about copyright this, that, to shut down free speech. No due process. It's on. The crooks have done it all. And you notice they got the main Wall Street sharks always lobbying for middle-class tax increases because they siphon it all off and steal it through bailouts and through government investments. And then they get all the tax incentives and tax breaks like Gerald mentioned. They're a bunch of crooks. It's called the New World Order, and it's the enemy. It's a new type of tyranny, and people better learn to recognize it. Every generation thinks they're fighting the last tyranny, Hitler, Stalin, Mao. No, it's come dressed up as a bunch of white shoe boys, as Gerald Celente has said. Again, Infowars.com is our website. TrendsResearch.com is their website. Be sure and check them both out because the system is scared to death. And we're taking a risk here going head up against these criminals because we know in the final equation, the greatest risk is not standing up to these bullies. You can also subscribe. Got a few days left of the 15-day free trial at PrisonPlanet.tv or InfoWarsNews.com. I'm Alex Jones signing off from the front lines of the InfoWar. Great job, supporters, and great job to that crew out there. All right, folks, InfoWars Nightly News is over. But there was one question I forgot to ask the good doctor who's written the big peer-reviewed white paper on psychopaths. And, Doc, I wanted to ask you, from your research, what percentage of high-level Fortune 500 leaders are psychopaths if you had to dead reckon?
The nearest estimate for corporate leadership, it seems to be around 3.5%. So if it's 1% of the general population, it seems to go up to about 3%, 3.5%. But the evidence for that is relatively weak so far. People are still working on that around the world.
Interesting. Do you see the worm turning on this? I mean, do you see this as a problem? Is it getting worse? Is it getting better? Their exposure, is that helping?
It doesn't seem to be getting better as far as I can see. I mean, the only way it's getting better is that the public is gradually becoming aware of this as a problem. And sooner or later there will be a call for screening of these people so that they don't get to the positions where they are now.
Interesting. Dr. Clive Boddy, Professor, thank you so much. Good luck with the book. Well, folks, it's kind of like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. At the end of the credits, there's a little something extra. We do that sometimes. Thanks to Gerald Celente, the crew, the doc for joining us, everybody. We'll see you back tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Central.